Dear colleagues, good morning. Ukrainian Crisis Media Center starts its working day, and we are giving the floor to the head of Communications Department of the Ministry of Defense, Oksana Gavriluk. Good morning. This week, the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Army General of Ukraine Stepan Partarak, visited the headquarters of NATO in Brussels. He took part in the meeting of Ukraine NATO Commission. Before the event, the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine had a meeting with the NATO General Secretary. During the meeting, Jens Stoltenberg confirmed that the alliance will continue to provide comprehensive support to Ukraine in reforming its defense sector and strengthening capacities of the armed forces. In his turn, Army General Stepan Partarak of Ukraine reported on the security situation in Ukraine and practical steps that Ukraine takes to stabilize it. He noted that despite continuing armed aggression of the Russian Federation, Ukrainian party, with efficient support from NATO partners, continues reforming and strengthening its national defense sector. The Minister of Defense informed the NATO representatives on the status of reforms in the armed forces of Ukraine. He mentioned that the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine established the Committee on Reforms, including consultants from the alliance countries, MPs, volunteers, researchers, and civil society representatives. In summary of the meeting of the Ukrainian NATO Commission, the parties specified the plan of joint actions for the period till Warsaw Summit of NATO in July this year. Next week, the visit of Ministry of National Defense of Canada delegation is planned to Ukraine. The delegation will be headed by the Minister of the National Defense of Canada, Harjit Singh Sejan. During this planned international event, the matters of the status and prospects of cooperation between the ministries of defense of these two states in the defense sector will be discussed. Highly mobile air mobile troops of the armed forces of Ukraine continue to receive the new models of anti-tank missile systems and guided anti-tank missiles. In order to master efficient use of this weaponry, Ukrainian troopers receive theoretical and practical training. Our soldiers improve their knowledge of these weapons and also practical skills of its use. We should note that novel weaponry for troopers is produced by domestic enterprises of Ukroboronprom state enterprise. New missile systems are intended to fight against tanks and other armored vehicles, including those equipped with modern means of dynamic protection. Besides that, this weaponry is capable to fire helicopters of the enemy. The system is equipped with semi-automatic guidance systems with laser aiming device. It is also possible to control it in remote mode by TV channel. The military men of the armed forces of Ukraine injured in the course of ATO are now in the hospital where they receive treatment and rehabilitation. Today, 72 military men of the armed forces are are in the hospital of the Ministry of Defense where they receive treatment. 22 military men now undergo rehabilitation. A total of 117 ATO servicemen undergone rehabilitation treatment since the beginning of the year. 16 injured Ukrainian military men undergo treatment abroad, including 10 in Germany, 4 in the USA, 1 in Poland, and 1 in Latvia. In January, during the period from January to March 2016, the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine received 39 million hryvnias from the national budget for medical supplies. They have already used 20 million hryvnias, including 11 million hryvnias to purchase medicines, 500,000 hryvnia to pay for dentist services. The rest were used for foods and utility bills payments. Besides that, the citizens of Ukraine provide volunteering support to the medical institution. Ukrainian army so far have received medicines for a total amount of over 183 million hryvnias. And Ukrainian sportsmen proceed achieving sports awards. During this week, 18 sportsmen of the Armed Forces of Ukraine took part in 6 international competitions where they were awarded 4 silver and 1 bronze medal, including in Norway at the championship in biathlon. Are there any questions? That's all for today. If there are no questions, our next press briefing will be at 11:30.